Hello, my name is Emma, and this is my friend Gizmo, and today we are going to help you learn English. Today's English is all about dogs, okay? So let's ask some questions to Gizmo, and we can get some answers. Our first question, do we call pets he, she, or it? What do you think, Gizmo? Usually for pets, we like to use he or she, okay? So you might ask somebody, what's her name or what's his name when you're talking about a dog or a cat. We usually use it for wild animals, although sometimes we also use he and she if we want to personify them. So majority of the time we use he or she when we're talking about pets. Okay, question number 2. What is pet hair called? Do you know the answer to this one, Gizmo? It is called fur, okay? F-U-R, fur. As you can see, Gizmo has a lot of fur. We use the word fur when we're talking about cat hair, dog hair, hamster hair. It's what we call fur. Okay, our next question. What are pet hands called? Okay, let's show Gizmo's off. So Gizmo, what is this called? This is a paw. So dogs and cats have paws. I'm just going to put Gizmo down for a second. There you go. Okay, so his hands are called paws. Okay, our next question. What does canine mean? Canine is another way to say dog, but canine is more scientific sounding. So if you're reading a science book or something that's formal writing, you will probably see the word canine. It's the scientific word for dog. We also have the word puppy. What does the word puppy mean? Puppy means a baby dog. Okay, so when a dog is very small and very young, usually around 2 months to 1 year, we call it a puppy. For kittens, that's what we call a baby cat, a kitten. Okay, our next question is a very good one. What sound does a dog make? Sounds are very cultural. In different cultures, animals make different sounds. For dogs, in English, dogs can either bark, they can say woof woof, or they can say ruff ruff. Is this different than what dogs say in your language? If you're wondering with cats or with all sorts of other animals, you can actually check out Ronnie's video, which covers a lot of these different animal sounds if you're interested. Okay, finally, our last question for vocabulary. What do you call a dog with no home? So a dog that lives in the streets. We call a dog with no home a stray dog, or we can also say a street dog. So we would say that dog has no owner, he's without a family, he's a stray dog, or he is a street dog. So now let's look at some grammar and pronunciation and cultural tips about talking about dogs. Okay, so our next question is a grammar question, and it's a very important grammar question. Okay, so let me hold Gizmo. Okay, so Gizmo, you see these two things, I like dog, I like dogs. Do you know what the difference between these two sentences are? No? Okay, well, let me tell you. I like dog is very different than I like dogs. When you want to say you like dogs, as in you think they're really cute and funny and you enjoy them, you say I like dogs with an S. This is different from I like dog with no S. If you say I like dog, it makes it sound like you like to eat dog, okay? And this is true for a lot of animals. If we say I like chicken, it means I like to eat chicken. This is very different from I like chickens, which means I think chickens are cute, I enjoy chickens, and I find them very interesting. Okay, so the next question is a pronunciation question. And that is, what is the pronunciation difference between dogs and ducks? So a duck is an animal, that says quack, quack. At least in English it does. And a lot of students, when they say these words, they pronounce them the same way. So people don't know if you're talking about a dog or a duck. So what is the difference in pronunciation? Well, dog has a different vowel sound than duck. Dog is longer. We say dog. Compare this to duck, which is very short and a bit sharp. This is an ah sound, dog, versus duck. Okay, so you notice the vowel sound here is short, whereas the vowel sound here is long. When we add an S to dog and an S to duck, we also have a different sound. In dog, because of the G, the S becomes a Z sound, as in Z. So we say dogs. You might not hear it, but there's a little bit of a Z sound at the end of that. Dogs. Now this is different from ducks, which has a S sound or an S sound. So there is a pronunciation difference. Say this one short with a S sound, and this one is longer with a Z sound. Okay, great. So now let's look at some cultural questions about dogs. Okay, so our next question. What do North Americans think of dogs? And a lot of people in England think about dogs this way, and Australia. And this isn't everybody, but this is what a lot of the population think. What is their opinion on dogs? Well, let's get Gizmo to help me out. Gizmo, come here. Okay, I'm going to pick him up. Here we go. Okay. So in North American culture, dogs, like Gizmo, are often treated like family members. Some people even treat them as if they are their children, although this is not everybody. But they really do care about their dogs, and they treat them like family. All right. This is Gizmo's first time on camera, so if he's a little nervous, he's never been on camera before. All right, let's look at the next question. Small talk. So dogs are actually a really, really good... Oh, you want down, buddy? Okay, I'll put you down. Sorry. Okay, so dogs are actually really good topics for small talk. If you ever have a conversation with somebody and you see they have a dog, talking about their dog is a great thing to do. So if you're in the elevator or at the park and you just want to meet somebody, you can ask them about their dog. Here are some great questions. You can ask them, what's your dog's name? What's his name? Is your dog a boy or a girl? Is it a male or a female? How old is your dog? How long have you had your dog for? Okay, so another really good question is, what kind of dog do you have? So in this case, we're asking about the type or the breed. So there are many different breeds or types of dogs. There are Chihuahuas, there are German Shepherds, Poodles, Dalmatians. There are tons of different types of dogs. Gizmo, in case you're wondering, is a Lhasa Apso Papillon mix, okay? Beautiful breed. And so people do like talking about this. You can ask them about their breed. Are they a mix? Are they a purebred, which means they're only one kind of dog, like a poodle? And there's so many different questions you can ask about dogs, but it's something people really love talking about. So I highly recommend, if you see a person who has a pet, it's something that's a good thing to talk about. Okay, so like I said, our pets are like our family here. Oh, thank you, Gizmo, for that kiss. So one thing I wanted to say is that a lot of the times in North American culture, you'll actually see that dogs are indoor dogs. They're not outside a lot. They actually stay inside with us a lot. Sometimes, they sit on our couches, and for some people, they even might share the same bed, or they might sleep on the same bed that their owner has. One other cultural thing that you might notice if you ever come to Canada or North America is that a lot of dogs actually wear clothes here, okay? And Gizmo is also, he wears clothes too, especially in the winter time, because it does get very cold. So a lot of dogs have winter boots and winter jackets. So if you come here, don't be surprised to see that. Sometimes people dress up their dogs for fun. Other times it's a necessity because it is very cold during the winter. Okay, so Gizmo and I would like to thank you for watching. We've had a great time today, I think. Isn't that right, Gizmo? Yeah, he's a bit sleepy now. Oh, okay, so he's just going to say bye. So we hope you subscribe to our channel, and we have a lot of other resources there. And if you come check out engVid at www.engvid.com, you can actually take a quiz on everything we learned today. All right, so thank you, Gizmo, for your help today, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, take care.